Donna Druchunas. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a provisional cast on using a crochet hook. We'll be knitting with this yarn, but I'm going to cast on with this yarn. Now I have a whole ball of it, but you don't really need that much. You need, a few yards, so if you've got some leftover scrap yarn, you can use that. In fact, I've already cut this off my ball of yarn because I'm only be knitting a few stitches for my sample here. So first thing I'm going to do is going to just make a slip knot. So you just fold the yarn over to a loop and then take the long piece of the yarn and push it through. Got a little slip knot, and you put it on a crochet hook. The crochet hook should be about the same size as the knitting needle you're using. You don't have to worry about being really specific, but something that's sort of close. Okay, so now I've got my yarn, my crochet hook with the yarn attached. I'm going to take my knitting needle and put it behind the crochet hook and then bring the yarn up behind the knitting needle. So yarn's in the back, then the knitting needle, crochet hook in the front. Then all I'm going to do is catch that yarn, and you can hold it, tension it however you want. You don't have to wrap it around your finger like I do. It doesn't matter. We're not really crocheting. We're just using a crochet hook as a tool. So I'm going to catch that yarn and pull it through the loop that was on the hook. So there's always going to be one loop on the hook. Now we also have one stitch on the needle. So I'm going to bring the yarn to the back, use the crochet hook to grab that yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. And I'm just going to do that over and over. Yarn to the back, hook in the front, pull the yarn through. Yarn to the back, hook in the front, pull the yarn through. Yarn to the back, hook in the front, pull the yarn through. Okay, so say I'm done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're more likely going to need 20, 40, or 100, but I've got 5 stitches, and I'm going to say that's all I need. So now what do I do with this last loop on the hook? It's extra. Well, I'm going to take the working yarn and pull it through a couple of more times. And then I'm going to pull out a really big loop and just let it hang there. I don't want it to get caught on the needle again or anything. And it's not going anywhere, but it's a really, really big loop. If you're worried that it's going to come out or anything, you can attach a safety pin to it, or you can pull the tail through it and pull it tight and fasten it off. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do is just knit into these stitches as if it was a regular cast on. Okay, so what does it look like later? Here's a piece I did before. Got a bunch of knitting, and here's my crochet cast on. Here's my end where I had the extra stitches, and see, I did pull the end through and fasten it off. So I can still undo that because it's not very tight. You can use a knitting needle or something to help you if you need to grab it, but you can just unpick that if you had pulled the tail through. And you're just going to have the big loop like I said before. So we're just going to pick that out, and we'll have a big loop. And what we're going to do is we're just going to unravel this. There we go. I got mine all tangled up. Don't worry if you get it all tangled up. You could just pick it out till you get it. I somehow split my yarn here. Okay, well, this is garbage yarn, so I may as well show you what happens if you get messed up. I'm just going to cut it. It doesn't matter because we're just going to take this out. Now, I want to have a knitting needle in my hand, because as I pull this crochet out, my live stitches are going to come free. And so I don't want to lose them or worry about losing them, and I'm going to put my knitting needle in each one. You can actually, if you want, you see where it's going to come out next, you can put your knitting needle in the stitch before you pull it out. Okay, technically you should put the needle in from back to front. That way, when you get ready to knit, it will be oriented on the needle in the proper way. But if you forget that, it's no big deal because you can fix your stitches after. And you just go across one at a time, pull them out, and you'll have all of your stitches on the needle. Then you can knit on this. You can use it to join to something else for Kitchener stitch or 3-needle bind off, whatever your pattern is telling you to do. And just go all the way across. And when they're all done, you're done. You'll have stitches on the needle. That's all there is to it.